The controversy surrounding the Atlantic Coast Pipeline, the 600-mile natural gas underground pipeline that would cut through the mountain just south of Charlottesville, is coming to a close despite heated opposition from landowners. This month, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission granted the pipeline approval, but what we found are residents still determined to challenge this approval in court. As we did the 40-minute drive from Charlottesville to Nelson County, more and more of these blue and white signs started popping up. No pipeline.
It's not going to go here. We're going to stop it.
Richard Averett is a Nellysford resident whose 100 acres of property would be bisected and deforested by the pipeline. That's a problem. He bought the land before the ACP was proposed, with a dream to build a boutique resort like Napa Valley. The pipeline would cut this dream in half.
Pipeline will wipe out the entire area where the tree houses would be built. There'll be no trees. This is our family's dream. I don't have a plan B, right? This is something I've spent my whole life building up to this point.
Dominion Energy is spearheading the pipeline's construction. The company believes Virginians need the ACP because the 1.5 billion cubic feet of natural gas flowing every day from West Virginia will save industries about $350 million a year in energy costs. Dominion spokesman Aaron Ruby says the route chosen over the mountains is the least harmful to the environment. The benefits outweigh the costs.
We have gone well above and beyond what is required by regulations in order to build this project in an environmentally responsible way, in a way that preserves our cultural and historic resources, and in a way that minimizes impacts on landowners.
Why do we need the Atlantic Coast Pipeline?
In terms of promoting cleaner air and water in our communities, lowering our emissions, reducing our environmental footprint, the Atlantic Coast Pipeline plays an indispensable role in what we're doing.
Federal approval of the pipeline will soon allow Dominion to use the power of eminent domain, essentially a forced sale, to take the land it needs for the pipeline. Dominion will try to take a 2.5-acre plot of property called an easement, where the pipeline will be buried. But Averett believes this would be unconstitutional. In fact, when Dominion attempted to negotiate an easement for $13,000, he torched it.
It's a physical affront, right? It's very much like having somebody break into your house and steal things. If Walmart wanted to come out here and build on my land, right, and they said, look, it's going to create jobs, it's going to create new tax revenue, those things might be true. But should they have the right to take my land? Hell no.
We value the contribution that every landowner makes to building our nation's infrastructure. We cannot have a modern economy. We cannot have all the comforts and amenities of modern life that we're so accustomed to without infrastructure.
When I asked Richard Averett what these orange tags meant, if this is where the Atlantic Coast Pipeline would lay, he distinguished that this is where the proposed plan would lay.
They can't start on my property until they take me to court for eminent domain. And we're going to fight that all the way to the Supreme Court if we have to.
While Dominion got the green light from FERC on October 13th, it still needs pipeline approval from key national agencies before construction can begin. Presuming federal approval is close, Richard Averett is just one of about 50 landowners promising a fight in federal court. Reporting for WUVA News, I'm Liz Brown-Kaiser.